Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And today we're going to pre-process the data I have for M57, the Ring Nebula. So I'm going to load up my pre-processing or image integration, as I call it, process icons. And I can skip the first couple because I'm not making my master dark, bias, or flats. So we can get right into calibrating the files. Let's open up image calibration. And again, a lot of the process icon, once I set all my values in there the first time, or rather close to about the fifth time, and created the process icon, I was able to keep a lot of the data or the values the same. So we already cleared out all the images, so let's go ahead and select all of the new images to put in there. All right, they're all in there, so let's set all of our let's first set our output directory. And next we'll have to load in our, let me make sure those directories are empty first. Alright, so they're cleared from the last time that I did any processing. So let's go ahead and select our master files. Alright, we've selected all of our master files I created previously. So now we're going to hit the apply global button, and this is going to chug away. It's got 100 files that it's got to do, so this is going to take some time. I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back when it's completed. Alright, we are completed. That only took about 4.5 minutes. That surprised me. So next up, we are going to do some cosmetic correction. Alright, so let's clear that out and let's add our calibrated frames that we just completed. If I could select the right directory, it would go a lot faster. Select all, open, select our output directory, and select our master dark. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? It's still up on my NAS. Alright, let me get the right one here. I did not copy my master files down to my local drive. So everything else should be okay. So we're going to apply global. What is this error? My output directory is not correct. So I made a change to the way I was doing the directory structure. So I'm going to have to create a new process icon later for that. So I'm going to let this chug away. All right. That completed. It only took a couple minutes, about 2.5 minutes. So now we're going to debayer our raw files. This is a Canon excuse me. This is a Canon DSLR, so it is in raw format. we need to debayer. We're going to go over and we're going to select our cosmetically corrected files. And double check my output directory. Put that in the debayered, and those are the right settings. So apply global, and I'm going to pause this and be back after it's done doing its processing. Alright, and we have debayered our files. That took right about 9 minutes. Let's go ahead and close that out. And next up, we're going to use the Subframe Selector process. We want to do two things here. The first thing we want to do after we select all our files is we want to get weights onto embedded into the fits headers, and second, we want to find our best image so that we can use that as our reference image. The weighting equation is already in the lower panel to the right over there, so the key here is in the left hand panel, the very top underneath the blue banner, that drop down, you want to make sure that you select measure as opposed to output the subframes at this stage, so that it's actually measuring the data and not outputting the files that you had previously selected. I've made that mistake before, so that's key. And always remember to double check that little drop down in the left hand panel underneath the blue Subframe Selector banner. So once again, I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back when it's completed. Alright, that's completed. That took about 5.5 minutes. So let's take a look at what we have. And just going to scroll over to our weight. Going to look at our bottom file here. I just want to I'd like to put it into a different, open it up and then put it in a different workspace, stretch it, just to take a look at it. It's pretty well centered. So that's going to be our reference frame, or reference image rather. And let me open up Notepad. I just want to make note of that file name. Pretty much everything's the same except for the temperature, the date, and the time. So I just make note of those 3 items. Those are the unique items in the file name, so I can easily find it later on. So now I want to go up to that drop down I mentioned earlier, select output. I already double checked my output directory earlier, and once again I'll pause it, be back in a couple minutes. Before I pause it, I just wanted to reiterate what's happening here is it is opening each file, rewriting the fits headers so that, or the fits headers, or in this case XISF file headers, to include the SS weight variable, and it's plugging in those weights that are in that weighted column. Those values are used later on in our image integration to determine which files are better and has better data in order to create the images. And I did not describe that very well, did I? It uses, image integration will use that SS weight variable to stack the data accordingly. The higher the weight value, the more reliable the data in that file is, and therefore will use that data to a stronger degree. I hope that was a better description. Anyways, let's let this finish up and I'll be back. Alright, it's done outputting the file, so we can close that out. And now we're going to do the star alignment. So this is where that reference image comes into play. So we're going to look for that image. But alright, I found the image, I selected it. So now we're going to come down here, clear out that panel, add our files. Let's go up to our weighted directory, select all, and select our output directory. Yep, that's the right directory. So let's apply global and let's see what we get. Alright, we're back a little bit early. As you can see, I've got an error here. Inconsistent or invalid directory. Wow. Aligned. That's not the right directory. I thought I had that right. So let me correct that real quick and get this corrected. Alright, well, as it turns out, I switched at some point from aligned to registered after I made this process icon, so yeah. Let's let this finish up. Let's let this run and see if we get any errors again. And if not, I'll be back when it completes. Alright, we didn't get the errors this time. We got the right directory, so we can close this out. So the next process we're going to use is local normalization. Again, we're going to select that same reference image. And there it is. And I've already got all these preset, so let's clear out the saved images. We're in the registered directory, so we select all and open them up. And now we're going to go over here to, we're going to select our registered directory. We want our normalization and drizzle data files to be in the same directory, at least I do. So let's let this chug away and I'll be back. Alright, that took right about an hour to complete. So now we're going to do image integration. So let's go ahead and select our files. Those will be in our registered directory. Let's select our normalization files. And I did do a 2x drizzle data when I earlier. So let's go ahead and select drizzle data. And let's apply global. And this is going to take a bit, so let's go ahead and pause video and I'll be back. Actually, It's 11:30 at night, and when I'm pre-processing, this is one of the things I like to do, since I know the image integration takes forever. Mind you, it's 100 images, so it won't be as bad as if it was, say, an open cluster where I have 480 images, but it does take some time. So I usually do this at night, and I try to get to the image integration right around 11, midnight, somewhere in there, and just let it run overnight. So instead of pausing the video, I'm going to not only pause the video, but I'm going to go get some shut-eye. So I will see you again in the morning when this is completed. Alright, well, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and got some sleep. This has completed. Alright, so let's take a look at our primary image here, the integration image. And I just want to do a quick stretch on it, see what I'm working with. And a little fringing due to the dithering, but that's okay. So let's save this file as our original, and navigate down to the directory here real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to save this as our non-drizzled image to work off of. Need to make sure I change that over to XISF. And next up we'll be doing the drizzle data. So we'll do image integration again this time, or not image integration. Can't remember what that process name is right now. So let's let this finish saving first. Alright, now that it's saved and I can see my process icons, we're going to be doing some drizzle integration. So let's add our files back in there. Select all, open, and let's add our drizzle files. And everything else should stay the same. Yeah, we should be okay. And this is the other nice thing about doing the image integration overnight. I don't know why that happened. Happens every once in a while. Just kind of lose the screen. But anyways, or lose that little process window. Anyways, the other nice thing about doing this, doing the image integration, getting it started, going to sleep, having it done in the morning, is now I can let this drizzle data start, and now I'm headed off to work. So, you know, did my morning routine, came down here, get this started, head to work. By the time I get back from work, should be done. So I will see you after I get back from work. Alright, and I am back from work, so let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at our drizzled integration image, do a quick stretch on it, see what we got. Pretty much the same as what we had, just double the size. So let's unstretch that, save the file, and that is it for our pre-processing. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And please, if you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you so choose. Hit that bell if you want to get notified when I post something new. And as always, clear skies. Have a good one.
In the upper right, you'll find my latest video. In the lower right, you'll see what YouTube thinks you'll like, and below you'll see the subscription link. Please check them out.